It's definitely time to plant these guys, but we're going to plant them in a bit of a different way today. G'day, it's Rachel here from Bush Edge Homesteading Australia, and I'm here with my youngest this morning because we've got a bunch of potatoes that I had actually picked from our garden ages ago with this grand plan of using them as kind of baby new potatoes and roasting them up. As you can tell, I haven't done that, and they're definitely not looking like they'll be good for eating anymore. But what we can do is plant them up. But what we thought we'd do is actually plant them up in a bit of a different way today, because hubby has a whole bunch of these feed bags around for the combo mix that we use for our sheep, and we thought we could use that as kind of a bit of a potato grow bag. And yeah, should we get going and turn these into a bit of a bag and plant these up?
Yep.
Cool bananas. All right, let's do it. Go. All right, so the first thing we're going to need to do is fold this bag up, because we're obviously not going to want to fill it with dirt to this depth. We need it to be a lot shorter. But what's really cool about these bags is you can fold them just by kind of rolling the top down. And then as the potatoes are growing, we'll actually be able to fill it up further with dirt. And then, kind of as we do that, the potatoes will be able to grow through the bag. Alright, still need a little bit further down. Alright, that doesn't look too bad. What do you reckon about that deep?
Yeah.
Yeah? Alright, you want to help me fill that up?
Yep.
To fill this up, we're going to use a lot of the material that's been decomposing for quite a while in this compost bay. And do you want to start filling that up?
Sure.
Good job, Muscles.
I reckon that's some good dirt. I reckon it'll grow some good potatoes.
You reckon?
Yeah. Look at all the worms.
There is lots of worms in there, isn't there?
Yeah. Look at it.
Yeah. Cool.
Let's add them in.
All right. Now it's all filled up. It's time to move it over towards where we had it originally, over here, next to where these potatoes are. Oh, you're going to try and move it. Oh, look at you go. Wow, good job. You are getting strong. All right, I'm going to need to roll the top down a little bit. So do you want to hold this for me?
Sure.
And let's roll that top back down again a bit, because we don't want it shading our potatoes when the potatoes start growing in here. Alrighty, you want to plant these potatoes, son?
Yep.
Alright, so what you got to do is dig a bit of a hole, and then in each hole we'll pop one of these potatoes. In fact, we've probably got a few too many potatoes to pop in here, so we'll see how many fit in, okay? Alright, one thing to watch out for when you're doing your planting is, see these little bits where the potatoes started growing, the shoots? You don't want to knock those off, because that's what's going to help it grow. So what we need to do is, when we're digging our hole, we dig a bit of a hole. Oh gosh, there is lots and lots of worms in here, isn't there?
Oh, yeah.
And then we pop our potato in there, and then we'll cover it over really gently so that we don't knock those pieces of growth off. So maybe a little bit deeper, hun. All right. And then we just keep going around. Oh, I'm uncovering your potatoes now, aren't I? All right. You're not digging deep because you don't want sheep poo on your hands, aren't you?
Yeah.
So is this what mums are good for?
Yep.
Digging sheep poo for you?
Yep.
All right. That's a little one, isn't it? Maybe a bigger one in there because we went so deep. What do you reckon?
About this one?
Yeah, that seems good.
It's huge.
We'll cover that one over. We'll move to the next spot. Whoa. Get right in there. Next one in.
Oh, look at that.
Yeah, it's a bit of green stuff. We'll chuck that back in the compost. And we'll cover him over.
Stick a little hole for this one.
Yep, just a little one there. There you go. And cover him. And next, over there.
Oh, there's another green one.
Yep. I think there was a few things growing in our compost.
Chuck it into the compost.
Yep.
Let's put that in there.
Yep, and then we'll cover that one. And then, oh, we must be getting close to where we started.
Thanks for digging all the sheep poo.
That's all right.
It's a very useful thing.
Well, it's useful for mums to dig sheep poo for their children.
Yeah.
You should be digging sheep poo for me.
No.
And I reckon maybe one of the big ones.
Alright.
Maybe like this one?
Yeah.
What do you reckon?
Yeah, I reckon that's a pretty good one.
We'll pop that there.
Let's get another big area.
And I reckon we're nearly at the end. I reckon maybe one more just here.
Giant or small? What do you
I reckon one of the biggest and best and healthiest looking ones.
Yeah, this one looks pretty healthy.
That one? Alright. Let's chuck it in. Cover it up.
Oh, there's all garlic in here. I didn't even notice that.
Sneaky garlic. Alright, what we're going to do now is give this a little bit of a water. And then we're pretty much just going to leave it. So do you want to do the watering? Watering cans over here?
Okay, I'll put down the potatoes.
Yep.
I'll pick up the watering can. Oh,
Bit heavy?
it's a bit heavy. Let's drizzle it.
And one of the great things about these bags is you can see it's made out of geotextile that's woven, and that means we're going to get water able to leak out of here. So it's not just going to fill up with water and drown our plants, in this case drown our potatoes. Yeah, I think that's enough.
A little sprinkle.
That'll allow for a bit of drainage. All right, I reckon we're done. What do you reckon?
Yeah, I reckon we're good. Fist bump.
Good work. All right, so what we're going to do is just leave it, and what we'll probably do is come back a little bit later, and hopefully we've got a bit of growth to show you guys. It's been a couple of weeks since we did the planting, and I'm pretty excited to see we've got some signs of life. So we've got a couple of little plants just starting to pop up, and that is awesome to see because it's not even spring yet. We're about 2 weeks out. So I can't wait to see how this keeps progressing. Alrighty, I got something to show you, and I reckon you're going to be pretty excited.
Okay.
Come check it out. Come have a look at your potatoes.
Oh, they're starting to grow. Oh, that's so cool.
You happy?
I'm really happy.
My youngest and I are back here together today,
Hi.
and it's been probably about 2 months since we started growing these potatoes, and check them out, they are growing absolutely amazingly. In fact, we're starting to get a little bit of height to the potatoes now, which means it's time to start rolling up our bag, and we also want to put a little bit more material around the bases of these. Now, the reason that we want to put a bit more material around the bases of these is because we've got a bit of height to the stems of these now, and if we can try and get some like straw and dirt in here, what will happen is we'll start to get some potatoes kind of growing off the stem to a higher level of these plants. If we just kind of leave it like this, all the potatoes are just going to grow in the bottom where the existing soil is, and yeah, that'll just mean we'll get less potatoes. So that's why we want to fill it up. So let's crack on.
Yeah. Now have some straw that we can add to our potatoes.
So first of all, what we're going to do is get a little bit of the straw in. And you want to come in from the top so that we can see how it's all kind of going around the bases. And I'll try and keep those standing up vertically rather than kind of laying them too much around the ground. And I'm also going to get a bit of dirt in here as well. Alright.
Very wormy.
It is very wormy. So this is our compost area that I'm stealing a bit of this from. You can see it's super organic. And I'm going to try and get some of that in there without damaging our plants too much. Yes, I do my whoops out in the garden as well as in the kitchen. If you've watched some of my kitchen videos, you'll know what I mean. All right, so let's keep getting that in there. And you can see now we're starting to come up to the height of the bag. I want to get some more material in here, so I'm actually going to roll this up now so that we can get a bit more straw and dirt in here. And this is the reason that we thought these bags would be pretty nifty, because you can just keep starting to roll them up. All right, let's get a bit more straw.
More straw!
Yeah, we'll just keep filling her up. There we go. Again, we'll try and keep those potatoes standing up.
No more whoops.
No more whoops this time. No, not this time. Try and have a 1 whoops per video limit, I think.
Yep.
And per project at the house.
Looks like there's a little bug bite here.
Yeah, something has been nibbling on them, hasn't it?
Yeah.
I did notice when we rolled that up, there was a snail on the outside. So we've actually been on holidays recently, and it means that the ducks haven't been in the garden the way that they normally are. And I'm actually wondering if, yeah, there's a few snails starting to sneak in. So we need to definitely get the ducks in here, and hopefully that'll help with that. Assuming that's what these little buggy bites are. All right, I reckon we could get a little bit more dirt in there as well. And let's load that up. And it probably looks like I'm not being the gentlest with the potatoes, but to be honest, potatoes, they kind of grow like weeds. In fact, we have had issues in the past in areas where we've grown them, and then later on they just kind of keep popping up when you don't want them to pop up. So I'm hoping that's another good thing we're going to have from growing our potatoes in here, is that they're not going to go wild in the garden.
This leaf's totally gone destroyed by snails and slugs.
Yeah, I think we definitely need to get the ducks in. All right, there we go. So that's our potatoes all topped up. You can see we've got a bit more depth now in our bag, and yeah, we'll just keep tracking. If these start taking off again, I'll probably just roll it up again the way that we just did then, and we'll just keep filling it up. 3 months has now passed, and this has been rolled up quite a bit since the last time we caught up, and we've just kind of continued filling it with both the straw and also with the soil. So it's getting a fair bit of depth to it now, and hopefully we're getting all that depth with a big long line of potatoes coming off of the root area that hopefully is extending now up the stems. Obviously, we're only going to really know how successful this has been once we actually harvest our potatoes. So what we've got to do now is just kind of wait for the green to die back on the plants. And yeah, when that does happen, which will be kind of later on in the summertime, we'll actually come back and we'll harvest these potatoes together. So watch out for the follow-up video to this one when we do our potato harvest to see how successful this has actually been. As always, thanks a bunch for joining, and catch you later.